The evening show starts now.
This one is dedicated to all of me queen. All of me queen. I heard you had a rough day yesterday. I heard about the hurtful things they said to you. It made you feel some kind of way.
Hey guys, welcome to the evening show. Yet another episode with you, our family. That's what you are, the evening show family. Yours truly, Cudjoe, with you alongside my beautiful co-host, the lady in the center, Melina the Silva.
Hi guys, I'm here with Grace, Salon, and Spy. So happy to be with you all this evening. Welcome.
And of course, not forgetting, last but not least, I feel as though we're doing a pageant type of thing. The lady, the sweet. I want to add the word sweet because you are anything honey.
Cowie-Clarke. Hi guys, thanks for joining us another afternoon. And of course, you can check me for anything honey.
Anything honey. Guys, don't forget, if you haven't sent the link to your friends as yet, you need to send them now. You need to call them, let them know. Send her a WhatsApp message. Take the link, post it onto your Facebook page. Do what you need to do because, this round we're not being selfish. We want everyone to be informed and know what's happening. And today, ladies, we are going to be talking with Dr. Harkoo. Listen, Dr. Harkoo is going to be sharing some information with us. We're going to be talking and addressing mental health. I think it's important at this time because we are aware. We've been reading articles. We've been looking at the news. We're very aware now. We're on all the platforms during this COVID pandemic. So we're going to be talking with Dr. Harkoo. And listen, the good thing about today's segment, I want to say, Dr. Harkoo, he's a young man. You're going to be like, wait, that guy is a doctor?
Exactly.
He's a cool cat, as they would say. He's an actor.
We should have find out if he's single for the ladies.
Dr. Harkoo, we're putting one out there for you. Hi, moms. Hi, his mom is probably watching. And if Dr. Harkoo is single, well, let me tell you, Melina, I like that beat. So, single ladies out there, there's a young man. Listen,
tune in, y'all.
He's a good-looking young man. He's a doctor. He loves his mom. And listen, he's an actor as well. Ireland. Actually, he did some of his studies in Ireland. I think I'm saying too much. You're going to see all the videos.
Man of many talents.
Man of many, many talents. And definitely humble. He's a humble soul. And, we love people that love people. We have so much in store. So, ladies, I think it's only fitting that we get to the next segment and you're going to see some acting. Actually, this particular short film is called Destination. Take a look at it. You get to see the young man yourself. Decide whether you want to make sure that your daughter sees the viewing. Single ladies only, all right?
Single ladies only.
Oh my gosh, Melina, Rachel, what has the evening show become?
We are not a dating site. Let's just put that out there. But, we're just throwing it out there that he might be available. We're not certain. We are not saying that is the case. But, have a seat and look on.
All right. And don't forget, you can find us www.theeveningshowtt.com. Yeah, website is activated. Don't miss it, all right? Here's our next segment. Short film by the gentleman, Dr. Harkoo. Actor extraordinaire, local talent.
To the airport, drive. Make it quick. That accent kept me back long enough.
Is anyone hurt?
Step on it. I got a flight I gotta get to, I'm not missing that. Big job,
Congratulations.
Thanks. You have a very strange accent. Where you
Who was that?
It's nobody. Drive, can you put the window down, please? You ever had anything you wanted to do besides this?
No. But you did.
I mean, okay. I did have ideas. But reality isn't so kind. I actually want to have good things in life, you know? No offense. Take a look at this drive. That, my friend, is where it's at. That's just old friends.
Look closer.
I didn't know he got that. How did you know about this? Who are you?
No one.
You're a friend of his? Jesus. Drive. You turn the window back up. It's just getting really cold now. Look. If he said something about me, he doesn't understand, okay? Still have enough time anyways. Could go back and do that if I wanted.
No, you can't.
Dominic thinks he knows, but he doesn't. Doesn't matter. I'm leaving the country anyways.
No. You can't leave now.
Excuse? What are you talking about?
Robert, do you remember when you got in this taxi? Your bags are gone. There is no going to leave the country, Robert. You never left the crash. You're not going anywhere, Robert.
Stop. Stop the car. Stop. Stop the car. Stop the car! I have money I can pay you to turn around. Tell me what I can do to help to turn around, please. I don't want to go. What are you? Are you the devil or something?
No. I'm just here to take you across. Do you have the fee?
Hey guys, welcome back. We won them. We told them it was going to be a good production. He's an excellent actor, and I think he's a young man who pursues excellence all around. Right? I'm sounding as though I'm putting up a picture of him here, or marketing his agent. All right, so guys, today we're going to be talking about zooming in, I should say, rather, on mental health. And I found a quote that I thought was so. If we apply it to the way we deal with mental health in the Caribbean, all right? And the quote is from a gentleman called, his named rather, Glenn Close. And he says, what mental health needs is more sunlight and more unashamed conversation.
That is so true. Unashamed conversation, we hang on to that for a little while. Because once someone says to you that, girl, I really don't think everything all right with me, and it starts to bring to the kind of shadow that mentally I'm not right in my head, and everybody starts to think, okay, she had papers, she went St. Anne's, and I know of someone, a young man in our community actually, a few months ago, actually ended up in St. Anne's, and when you think about it, he was really stressed out from his job, a normal professional in his 20s, probably nearly early 30s, and it was because he was stressed out about his job. He walked out onto the street half naked, and you just have to thank God that we have support circles, because he had support circles around him that were able to stabilize him and make sure that things came back to normal for him.
That's exactly what I was going to say just now. Our circles are so important, and to me, you don't have a good circle if you cannot freely explain where you are emotionally, because that's what mental health is about. It's about our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. And I think sometimes if you're not able to be truly free and candid without anybody judging you or thinking that you're in a bad place, that you sharing where you are, like when somebody asks you if you're good, and they're really, really asking you if you're really good, and you could tell them, well, today's not a good day. I lost my aunt whenever, and like it felt like it hit me like a ton of bricks again today, and nothing is wrong with that. You're able to share, and it is okay.
And I want to add in that I think too, we see admitting things or admitting our weaknesses as just that, a weakness. So I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Now we got so much coming up. We don't want to talk on it too much. We're going to be chatting with Dr. Harkoo. And I want to say this before we head to our next segment, that just because you don't understand it doesn't mean that it does not exist. Right, guys? And that's a statement of everything, all right? COVID included. All right, keep it locked in the evening show. Don't go anywhere.
Hey everyone, Shaon Harkoo here. Over the last few weeks, I've been working in the emergency department in the hospital and also part of the COVID-19 screening team. As such, I've had a particular insight into this global catastrophe. I've seen the fear, the anxiety, the frustration, and the uncertainty that patients experience when it comes to this disease. And on the other side, I've been heavily immersed when it comes to doctors. I've seen the hidden fears of doctors, the silent breakdowns, the quiet anxiety. I have personally experienced this. I have seen and felt the isolation of being alone and away from loved ones, the stigma associated now with being a healthcare worker. What I do know is this: COVID-19 is something new. It is something that was not foreseen. It is not something that we were prepared for. As such, our reaction to it is happening within real time. So the fear, the anxiety, the frustration, the uncertainty that's associated with this global catastrophe is completely warranted and understandable. Never have we been more alone than we are now, but also never has there been a time in our generation that our nation and the world has come together as one people to fight this one singular cause. I'd like to take this time to salute my fellow healthcare workers and staff who are there on the front lines. So to the doctors, the nurses, the escorts, the lab technicians, the custodians, the clerks, and to everyone, all the staff that are involved in the front lines each and every day to help combat this global pandemic. Today, I salute you and I say thank you for your service.
Hey guys, it's the evening show, and the footage we just showed you. Guess what? You're going to get to meet the gentleman himself, this multifaceted, multi-talented young man. Let me introduce to you Dr. Harkoo. He has his own private office, the Care Clinic, and that's in Woodbrook. He also provides concierge medical care, house visits, and he's engaged in an entrepreneurial venture. He's an actor. Um, he also has some upcoming films, all right? So let me welcome you, Dr. Harkoo. Welcome to the evening show.
Hi,
Thank you. Glad to
Hi,
be here.
Doc.
Welcome.
So listen, we want to pull from the medical aspect and from your knowledge. I know that you're an activist when it comes to mental health. And now we have this mental health and COVID, and if you could share with us a bit in terms of your heart for mental health, of course, the awareness, and if you can give greater insight and enlighten us, the public, in terms of the pandemic's relation and the impact of mental health at this time.
Okay, sure. So my aim by creating those videos essentially was to provide people with ways of managing their mental health through affordable and accessible means such as exercise and diet, which the videos would have covered. Data and research had shown that, let's say, example, coming out of the US, the percentage of adults that reported COVID-19 negatively affecting their mental health was 32% in March, and in July it was 53%. And those figures are massive, and those are those that only were reported. So, analogous to Trinidad, these numbers can be overwhelming. In the news there was an article published where there were 3 suicide-related deaths and 1 attempt all within the last 4 days. For a nominally sized country, these figures are significant. More so, I think it clearly points to the insidious effects of this pandemic, and that is mental health. It would be negligence of me if I didn't acknowledge the gargantuan efforts being made by many not-for-profit organizations such as NADO, KTT, and even the government in providing avenues of assistance such as the COVID stress relief hotline and the TNT Association of Psychologists, etc. So it begs the question, with these services available, why is the prevalence of mental health related mortality increasing? There are a lot of reasons, but I think a big one, particularly in Trinidad, is because it is daunting, it is uncomfortable, and it is stereotyped. And that's because there's a heavy stigma that comes from speaking out. And this is due to archaic yet ever recent social and cultural norms. These voices that need to be heard are stifled a lot by fear. And I understand, as a doctor working in the actual environment, I completely understand. I'm self-isolated at home, and it is understandable. And I think there are 3 main things that people want to hear, and that is that I'm here, I'm listening, and it's okay. And we need to be our brother's keeper, I think, a lot, particularly in this time. All of these things are easier said than done, because we need to consider people who have lost their jobs, people who have decreased incomes, they have bills to pay, families to feed, people with pre-existing comorbidities and pre-existing mental health conditions. I think what we're facing now, collectively as a people, is the first time in our generation that we're experiencing something like this.
Yeah.
And we are reacting in real time. So I tried my best to make the videos relatable to people by humanizing it, by including people that the audience can relate to, and things that are easy to follow, easy to understand. And that was the main aim or effort behind the videos.
Dr. Harkoo,
Yeah.
as you mentioned, people who would be going through these mental health, that fear is something that would overcome them. My
Yeah.
concern is for the people that are in a lower income bracket,
Yeah.
that probably would have been laid off. They may have been the ones to be laid off much earlier in our fight against COVID. How are they to deal with? In one of your videos, I noticed that you mentioned a diet, because you had the dietitian on, and she was talking about the diet and having supplements and so on. For those in a lower income bracket, what else can they do to help boost their immune system so that they could relieve themselves from the degree of fear that they're probably dealing with?
I think we have seen, it's not documented, but just from interacting with a lot of people, and in general, we have seen a large increase in home farming and people farming their own food items, their own kitchen gardens, things that they can eat on an everyday basis. And there's been an increase in that, which is, I think, something that should be encouraged. And in terms of their diet, there's a lot, the things that we have access to here in the Caribbean are high in vitamin C. We have a lot of vegetables, a lot of greens, a lot of fruits. And these are things that we easily take for granted. We find in our backyard. And it's only now that we see the importance of it.
I was thinking along the parts of those that feel isolated at home, because you are still working, but now you are at home. There are even people that are single and they live alone. How the reality of dealing with it's me and these four walls can become overwhelming. What how can we as persons, well, I live with my husband, it's just two of us, but then how could persons who really don't have many people and become used to the interaction and office environment may have brought to them manage?
That is a very difficult and harsh reality. Being faced with four walls every day and the lack of social interaction is something which has been proven in studies coming out of the US, particularly, that self isolation increases the likelihood of depression and anxiety and the lack of sleep, which is a lot of things that I think people complain of at the moment. One way that, and this is on an international level, that people have been suggesting and finding ways to address this, I think there has been a rise in creativity. So there are a lot of online platforms for people to interact socially. That's one. Two, many people are taking up extra hobbies or finding extra activities to do to better themselves. Some people are going back to school online. A lot of schools have been providing online classes, which now more than ever makes it easily accessible for everyone to, in a word and in a way, to sort of be on a level playing field. You get an equal opportunity. So I think that there are things to look into, but it's to get past this mental block. And that is the difficult part. It's not something that I can talk you through. It's not something that your mom can talk you through, or your girlfriend or your wife. So I think it is something that you really need to sit and you internally observe yourself and make the conscious effort or decision to try and pull yourself out of it. And again, it's all easier said than done. But for example, for myself, I've been self-isolated, and I've taken the opportunity to pursue like entrepreneurship and to look at different small businesses. And so one of the things I'm working on at the moment is essentially building a small business where I look at different young companies with potential, and it's structured along the way of a private equity firm. So we invest like growth capital into them. And all of this only became possible because of access to material that was provided during this period in time. And it was put out there and available. So I think if you're willing to rise to the challenge, there are avenues to help get you at least away from the horrors of self-isolation.
Doc, you said something there in terms of people have to sit and deal with it, and I'm thinking to myself that may be part of the issue. People are not ready, and now you have to be ready because you have no choice. COVID is here, and you have to sit and deal with yourself. And I think that may be a part of the issue. And definitely, I think if that is the situation, professional counseling is a necessary tool at this time to get through it. So we saw a video earlier on where you spoke with our registered dietitian, Nandini Samuel. Now, before we get to that video and the awareness and the content that you shared, can you, how did the relationship form? Why choose Nandini?
So at the point in time when Nandini contacted me, I already had a few videos out on mental health, and he contacted me and expressed a concern that there were people out there that were trying to benefit financially from the fact that people needed help. And she was aware that there were people asking her questions on how could they include certain things in their diet to help prevent them from getting sick and all these different things. And she wanted to provide information in not for profit way. And for me, the humility and the willingness to do that is what I identified with. And so we sat down, we discussed the points that she wanted to bring across, and that's how it started.
Listen, this is blowing my mind. Of course, we don't know the back work of what happened, but to know that, and I'm sure there are others, but now we know Nandini, all right? Hey, Nandini, who would yeah, we know her now through Dr. Harkoo. People who would say, hey, we understand mental health, we understand what is happening now, and we are choosing or taking a stand rather not to profit or have financial gain off of this, but to actually like really help people. That is big. I wish I had like an applause sound effect that I can have.
Even the fact that he has his entrepreneurship business to help other small businesses, I just find that so impressive. In fact, this month on my Instagram page, I issued a challenge so that those who probably in a better position could help small businesses that are going through difficulty at this time. It doesn't necessarily have to be financial, but just to check in, probably just to purchase material that they probably need, just something that would encourage them. Because I've been driving through Port of Spain, and you will see different places just closed down completely because of the effects of COVID on us economically. So for you to do that, I think it's highly commendable that you have a business just for that.
With respect to even the home gardening, is really something that has taken up. People that you would not have expected to be gardening are gardening, and you actually feel the rebirth of the bartering system within our society, because I can plant pimentos and you can plant sage. I can plant some other thing, peas, sorrel. People only think about planting at Christmas time, but now it's a normal thing. We can plant, we can feed ourselves.
Yeah. And I mean, I think Dr. Harkoo, you would have highlighted that bit in your opening statement in terms of helping each other. I think that is the big call for all of us as a people at this time, even more than ever before. As you rightfully said, this generation, this is our first time for future. Yeah, we've never faced this, and the only way we can really overcome or go forward or feel safe, I can use so many words, is really to support and be there for each other. So talking about support, we're gonna go to that video. Again, I wish I had the sound effect to give her. And this is the advice from @firstclass_nutrition. You can go check them out on Instagram. Miss Nandini Samuel, she shared and addressed immunity and mental health. Take a look.
Hey everyone, Shaon Harkoo here. Today on our mental health blog series, we'll be chatting with registered dietitian Nandini Samuel. She's going to give you some tips on how to maintain a good mental health with respect to your diet. Also, she's going to give some advice on maintaining good immunity during this COVID-19 pandemic.
We're just going into 5 simple strategies to help you manage your mental health. Number 1 being you want to continue to make social connections a priority. Face-to-face conversations are not always necessary. However, social networking to just contact your friends and family to express how you feel are good coping mechanisms as well. Number 2, we want to stay active. So the World Health Organization actually recommended 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise for persons between the ages of 18 and 64 years old. So moderate intensity exercise can take the form of swimming, dancing, tennis, or simply brisk walking. Our third point, we want to get sufficient sleep. So at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep per day is fine. So we want to ensure that we are well rested for our daily chores and so on. Number 4, we want to have a daily routine or a set schedule. So if you all want to get up and exercise for probably 10 to 15 minutes on mornings, then take a shower, have a good breakfast, and journal your thoughts. Simply write how you feel, whether it may be happy, sad, or even fair. The last point, we want to ensure to eat a healthy, well-balanced diet. Today I will be speaking a lot about immunity, COVID-19 with respect to mental health. Being healthy to me simply means eating a variety of foods from the Caribbean 6 food groups on a daily basis so that your body could get the essential nutrients it needs to function. I always tell my patients, you need to eat good to look good so that you can automatically feel good. So having said that, I know a lot of persons have been asking, can immunity stop me from getting the virus? The simple answer is no. It cannot stop you from getting the virus. However, it can determine how well you cope with the virus if you do happen to catch it. In terms of general guidelines, it is important to note that a diet high in ultra-processed foods can actually impair your immune response. So we want to limit the amount of canned foods we are having and so on. I know it's difficult during this time to get fresh fruits and vegetables every single day. However, frozen foods may be the better option than the canned ones. Secondly, we want to also note that some supplements can worsen the manifestations of COVID-19 and also interact with potential medications that you are taking. And thirdly, it is important to note as well that you want to balance your immune system and not boost it, because boosting it can actually do more harm than good. With respect to herbal supplements, there are mixed reviews. However, recent studies are showing that curcumin from turmeric and an extract called EGCG from green tea are helping with immunity as it pertains to COVID-19. However, I would not advise to go panic buy turmeric or green tea, mainly because there are not enough scientific evidence to prove anything yet, and investigations are still ongoing. It is also essential to note that turmeric has anticoagulant properties which can result in blood thinning. So for instance, if you are taking blood thinners such as aspirin as well, in addition to turmeric, these can pose a threat to your overall health. So my main message to you today is to eat a healthy, well-balanced diet. And always remember to keep hydrated. Have at least 6 to 8 glasses of water per day. And I know it's difficult to deal with whatever we are going through and to cope with everything around us. However, we would want to avoid any sort of substance abuse in the form of alcohol and drugs, as these can actually decrease your immune response. And lastly, we want to be aware of the supplements we are taking, as it can do more harm than good. And remember, it's okay to feel the way that you're feeling. It's okay to feel angry or sad, but always remember that there is someone out there. There is someone that you can contact to express how you feel.
And of course, great advice from First Class _ Nutrition. I'm saying it again because you all need to listen. When people are doing great things, I think we should all support and encourage in some way. And Nandini, again, we really mean it. Thank you so much for choosing to partner with Dr. Harkoo and share the information. And Dr. Harkoo, thank you for even creating such a platform to share information.
She said, balance your diet balance your immune system instead of boosting it. And I was like, balance instead of boost? But she's like, it's more important to balance it and get the proper food groups in onto your daily menu. And it's something we could take away, a simple takeaway.
Yeah. I wanted to ask though, Dr. Harkoo, because I know she mentioned exercise and your diet and supplements and so on. And I know that mental health is a emotional and a psychological issue. I know of individuals that don't even listen to like the media briefing or any of the updates from the Ministry of Education just so that they could stay, sane more or less. What else can we do in addition to those things to just kind of keep us calm and to keep us, I know I tell my customers sometimes, like deep breathing helps. Are there anything else that we could possibly do to help with that?
Yeah, I think it helps that if people get a hobby. So exercise is one. Exercise is always a good thing to help de-stress. And it also helps make you feel better. The fact that you're actively doing something to better yourself and your body, that's one. And other options would be simple things like yoga. If people want to attempt yoga, cooking or baking, these are different things that you can find stress relief in. And as surprising as it may sound, you might think that oh, I can't cook, or I can't do this, I can't do that. But in this particular time, we're in a completely different time now. Engaging in certain activities and certain hobbies, you're going to find that you're getting a sense of peace from doing that. You're getting a sense of relief. Even planting and farming, like once you can identify with a hobby, and there are lots out there, once you can do that, I think that's the main thing to sort of keep your mind at peace.
Okay. And now, with respect to, I want to just ask you some questions here. I want to dig in a little more to the Dr. Harkoo, all right? And of course, we're taking all of this based on you personally. We know you're not speaking on behalf of any organization or any specific platform for that of your own self, all right? Now, with respect to usage of rubbing alcohol, listen, are we safe by spraying items with rubbing alcohol?
Okay, so so before I begin, just a disclaimer: I'm speaking on behalf of myself, and my views don't represent any organization or anybody. So rubbing alcohol, ideally, the recommended percentage is 70%. It's recommended for hard surfaces and hands. It loses its efficacy on your hands after around four uses continuously back to back. That's why they recommend you wash your hands in between. For hard surfaces, rubbing alcohol at 70% can be effective. Usually they say, or research has shown that if it's a high percentage, the bacteria sort of form like a protective coating against it, and so the effects decrease. So 70% is that ideal spot where you can get the most for your dollar, I guess. Yeah.
All right. So far, feel safe.
You're good, Mel. You're good. You all right?
I'm good. My husband was like, why did he agree? So, what are some of the things from your perspective? The numbers are increasing, and I know ideally we want to, as we all say, flatten the curve. Is there anything from your perspective? Again, I know you're not speaking on behalf of any organization. Would you say there's anything that you think we as and I say we, that we as a people or public, the population, that we're ignoring or should pay a bit more attention to, that we're probably not at this time?
Yeah, so I'm glad you actually brought this up, because it is something that I have noticed, particularly in this period in time. I think assumption. By what I mean by that is, we as a people, we're in a vehicle driving on a dark road, and all we can see is whatever the light shows us ahead, which isn't very much. Our assumptions comes like a fog, which makes us more prone to accidents. And people are making a lot of assumptions, I think, and they are assuming that their friends don't have COVID, that they don't have COVID, that they don't have the virus. They're assuming that it's okay not to wear a mask. It's okay to still go and hang out with my friends, like my friends can't have COVID. Assumptions is our fog at night. Assumptions is going to make us more prone to accidents. It is something that we need to stop doing. We need to stop assuming. There are a lot of good rules and regulations that are in place, and we need to really respect that. We need to wear our masks. We need to maintain the social distancing. And I think I have seen a lot of people being very vigilant, and I would commend everyone on that, being very vigilant in terms of use of hand sanitizer, use of disinfectants. Every store that you go into, before you enter, they want to make sure you have on a mask, they are sanitizing your hands, and you have, I commend local businesses for that. Everyone is doing their part, and they're actively trying, and I think that is something that we don't acknowledge. We don't applaud our own efforts, or at least our citizens. We don't applaud their efforts, and I applaud you for what you're doing, for whatever efforts you're making. But a big thing that I have noticed is the assumption that it is okay not to wear a mask, the assumption that it is okay to still do the things that you would normally do.
In terms of noticing or knowing of your friends that may be suffering from some type of mental breakdown or mental challenge because of probably just you talking to them and you realizing everything isn't okay, how could we support such a person?
I think right now, because there's still this large stigma and people are actively afraid or fearful to speak out or even reach out to an organization that may be providing help. In a case like that, it would be best to be a brother's keeper, as I said before, and sit down, listen to your friend. You need to let them know these three things. It's okay, I'm listening, and I'm here. And I think that's really important. That is something that people want to hear. They want to feel comfortable to be able to express themselves to you and want to have that assurance that they can openly do that without any repercussions. And as difficult as it may be, I think we need to provide that sort of help, that sort of assistance to people we love. It can be strangers too, anyone that reaches out.
Yes.
I think it's the trust factor that people, you don't know who you could trust, and if I share this information with you, how will I be judged? And so instead of sharing or coming and pouring out my heart to you, I rather not, just because I don't know how you will take this or how you will view me if I share these concerns or thoughts with you. And I think that's the biggest problem, the trust factor in terms of sharing that this is where I am. You are okay. It is okay to share, just as Dr. Harkoo was saying, it is okay. I am here. I think we missed that part.
I fully agree. I think that we need to make some extra efforts to break that stigma of being able to speak out, because it is a big, big dogma in our society in particular. And once we can break that stigma, I think a lot more people would get the help that they need and that they want. Yeah.
So I guess that's what we got to work on the evening. So encouraging people to break the stigma and understand that mental health is a real thing. It's happening. And you can Google the stats if you think, hey, what is Dr. Harkoo saying? Google is your friend. Go check the stats and understand the numbers. And you may know someone. And if you do some research, I'm thinking Dr. Harkoo, then you can realize the signs of mental illness. And of course, we can help the organizations to help people, encourage them to reach out, as you've been saying, And of course, we will definitely push up the hotline numbers and the information because we too support this initiative.
I think that it's relevant for people to appreciate if they are willing to. And to end, basically, I think that this is a great time to be beautifully human. We would never again get an opportunity like this. Maybe it's the entrepreneur in me looking at something bad and looking at it, an opportunity from it. But I truly believe that through this chaos, we have seen the truth in the heavy importance that we once placed on materialistic values. And this pandemic has provided the impetus to find ways to grow, to adapt, to love, and to value those closest to us, to undertake charitable efforts and all these different things. We see that the core values that cement us in defiance of race, class, and social standing are the only ones that matter now. And they are love, kindness, family. And when faced with impending death, we are forced to appreciate our soul and our humanity. And to those that rise to the challenge, I implore you to take this opportunity to be more human, to care, to love, and to appreciate what you have.
Wow, thank you so much for your words, for your heart. Yeah, I think we all loudly and clearly heard your heart on this matter.
Yeah,
and we thank you for
beautifully
your knowledge.
human. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you again for taking the opportunity to be here with us, and all the best with each and every one of your endeavors. And thank you for taking a responsibility as well on yourself to assist and to help in every way that you can. Yeah.
Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure.
Thanks,
It's the evening show, guys. We'll be right back. Hey guys, definitely a sobering and informative interview and session with Dr. Harkoo.
Wow,
Be beautifully human. That is embedded in my mind. Now is the time to be beautifully human. Love, kindness, and family. That to me, that's just like the banner over this episode. Let's be beautifully human.
And in being beautifully human, be the person to say, I'm here, I'm listening, and it's okay. So not be okay as well.
Yeah.
I fully understand, and I don't think there's anything else I can add except that we got to be our brother's people, and that's exactly what in fact is. Guys, it's the evening show, and always a pleasure to be with you. Thank you so much for viewing, for following, for liking, subscribing so that you can stay updated with everything. Be sure to check out our website, www.theeveningshowtt.com. Alright, and we'll keep you updated with everything health-wise. Just go check out the site. And of course, don't forget to leave your questions. We want you to. We have our 2-part marriage series that will be happening. We have some people who are very informed and they are ready to tackle your questions and answer your questions and give us what you say, the tools. Give us the
to have successful marriages, yes. And don't worry, we'll do it anonymously. Your name will not be mentioned. Husband ain't gonna know it's you, wife ain't gonna know it's you.
And those that preparing for marriage, it's okay to listen in as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Guys, Cudjoe, Melina the Silva, Rachel, Cowie-Clarke saying bye for now. Do have yourself a safe one, alright?
Yes, bye, guys.
Take care.